And joining us is our friend Alex Lawson, Executive Director, Social Security Works, friend of the show. Alex, good sir, how you doing?
Great, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. What do you want to talk about? I think I know, which is that with all of the discussion around the, not just the Mueller investigation, but the Barr letter, we may be missing important information about what's happening with respect to health care. And the topic, I believe, is Trump and Republicans coming after your health care. Is that overstated?
It's understating, if anything. What we're talking about right now is that the Trump administration, including the same DOJ who is, you were just speaking of, the same Department of Justice, is now going to attack every piece of what people call Obamacare. The whole thing, they say that they're going to try to just get rid of it all. That includes the Medicaid expansion, that includes the protections for pre-existing conditions, that includes the tax credits to help people pay for their insurance. All of it gone. That's Trump's plan for healthcare in this country, is to literally rip healthcare away from tens of millions of people, just rip it away, and also to revert to the day when these parasitic insurance companies could deny people care. Those who need it most would be those quickest denied. So we're just seeing exactly what we've always known this administration wanted. And to be fair, what the Republican Party wants. This is the only plan they have for health care. Steal our health care. Reach their hands into yours and my pocket, steal our money by stealing our health care, and give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. The only difference now is that they're being super open about it, and they're going to bring the entire weight of the U.S. government against people's health care and what we have right now. So we're up against our own government who's trying to steal our health care.
Alex, let's nerd out for just a minute. What are the most important legal arguments? I know that previously there had been, well, I'm looking at the Vox article about this. It describes some of the arguments as, I think, absurd. Spurious is another word that Vox used in this article. That federal judge Reed O'Connor had nonetheless ruled in December that the mandate is unconstitutional. Is that the primary legal argument, that the insurance mandate, or what are the other sort of critical legal arguments that the community ought to understand?
So, Jeff, the important thing to understand is that this is an idiotic, there's no legal arguments here. This isn't driven by any legal arguments. There's nothing to stand on. This judge's actions have been roundly rejected by the conservative legal movement, who see it as nothing more than naked partisanship from a bench, right? So it's a judge wielding judicial power as legislative power. This is activist judge to the extreme, because the legal argument makes no sense at all. I don't want to go too far into the weeds on it.
How come?
It's so stupid, you actually get dumber if you have to follow along with the twists and turns that they've put themselves in. But it basically goes like this. They say that the individual mandate, which was a tax penalty if you didn't get insurance, that's inseparable from the whole law, even though Congress actually did separate it and said, we're going to get rid of that. This judge says, nope, you can't do that. Without that, the whole
everything goes away.
Actually goes away.
Yeah.
And there's literally no justification. There's no legal basis for any of that. It's just a naked attack.
So, and what's the argument? And yeah, I recognize that I'm being nerdy, and I either apologize or maybe not for that. But what is the argument? You would call it an illegal argument. What would be the legal argument? What would Bill Barr say is the reason why the individual mandate, or what would Judge Reed O'Connor say is the argument for why the individual mandate is unconstitutional?
Previously, it was said because they set it at zero, so that you couldn't have a zero tax.
Yeah.
But again, this is all moot because the law was changed. Just that part of it was removed. So there is no legal justification. I'm not.
So let me go from walk to hack and ask a different question. Then, what is the risk, or maybe even what's the motive? If there's no justification, is it, well, they just want to be able to say this so they keep it alive as a political issue, so they can say Obamacare lots of times and gin up Fox News voters to do whatever it is Fox News voters will do? Or do they think that because that Donald Trump has had success in packing the court, that they will get sufficient judges to adopt a specious legal argument that you're not even wanting to repeat? You find it so specious, and that actually judges might tear it down. Where are you thinking this is going?
I think they actually they want to burn the whole thing down. We're talking about a bunch of nihilists who believe in nothing except money and power, who appoint their criminal friends who believe in nothing but money and power, who work for a tiny cadre of billionaires who believe in nothing but money and power, and who see the only way to get that money and power is to take it from the American people. And they're going to use every angle they can. They were defeated in Congress, even though we have an incredibly gerrymandered House so that Republicans are massively overrepresented. And we have the original stupid compromise in the Senate. So you have two senators from California with equal weight to two senators from Wyoming, and look at the population between those two. But even with all of that structural disadvantage, they couldn't get rid of Obamacare. They couldn't put Trump care into place. Trump care is just a negative plan. It's just smashing things to pieces. But let me back up and just state it really plainly. There are a bunch of greedy liars on Wall Street. This is a criminal class of parasites who function. What they do is they break things because that's where there's profit. When something works, they can't make money off of it. Social Security works. It's got less than 1% administrative costs. They want to destroy that so they can make money from it.
No, I get the motive. Yeah, I get
Medicare works.
I get the motive. It's not the motive isn't because they have a superior policy that will cover more people at less cost and with greater skill. I think that is clear. And also what I'm interested in is sort of the threat level, right? What's the if you've got when Roberts, I think it was a 5-4 opinion when Roberts decided not to destroy Obamacare previously, and in fact saying that the individual mandate was I think he argued that it was justification for its constitutionality, and so I am wanting to sort of get a sense of the threat level and recognize that you're not like that you are maybe more concerned about the threat level than you're concerned about whatever pernicious legal or illegal arguments they're making. How would you characterize the threat level?
It's very real. I mean, what we've seen during Donald's administration is just a wholesale packing of the courts at all levels. So these are his buddies, and they want to do his will, which is to steal our health care to enrich their criminal friends on Wall Street.